Hello and welcome to the Darkest Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're looking at this game, Fractured Veil. This is my second video that I've done on this game. I know really nothing more about the game other than what I've read here on Steam. I haven't looked at YouTube videos. I haven't done any research at all other than the fact that it's a survival game, what they're telling you here on Steam. Now, if you've watched my channel and if you've been a subscriber of mine for a few years, you know that I'm into game testing. That's what I do. I move from one game testing product to another, one beta testing to another. I typically don't play games for the sake of playing games. I like testing things. It's a puzzle for me. It's like figuring out puzzles and making sure that game mechanics work. And then when I'm done one project, I move on to the other project. And I do have a list of projects that game companies have reached out to me and asked me to test their game in the future. I've got a couple of them down the pike here. I'm actually in the middle of game testing Ars Notoria. Now, this company never asked me to test for them. I'm not part of their content creator group. I actually have no association with this game at all, other than the fact that it looks cool as hell and I want to play it. And I'm willing to pay for it. Money, 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 which is unheard of for me to do. Not that I'm cheap and don't have the money to pay for games. It's just that I don't usually play video games for the sake of enjoying myself in video games, even though I enjoy myself testing video games. I mean, if you watch my channel, then you know that's what I like to do. Now, there are games in the past, like my Black Desert videos, where I walked into Black Desert knowing absolutely nothing about that game. And then I slowly started to learn the game, and I did video content on the game, showing people how to do certain aspects of the game that was difficult. And I have over 1 million views of that content that I did. And so I'm thinking that this project's going to probably be similar to that, where I'm walking into it as not knowing anything about it, like zero knowledge other than what we got here on Steam and what I've read about a little bit on their Discord channel. What I do want to emphasize is they're trying to make this game comfortable for PvE players and PvP players. So if you're afraid, I mean, there's a lot of people think a game is PvP, it's a no buy. And in this case, I think you might want to look at this game. I think they're going to have buffer zones between the PvP aspects and the PvE areas, social areas. I mean, just to go over it real quick, and the other reason why I'm putting your eyes back on this product, it releases in 5 days. It releases on the 18th. So if you got, I don't know how much it's going to cost. Let's actually scroll down here and see if they actually give us they haven't given us a dollar amount. A lot of times with early access games and how they're profiled here on Steam, they can't give you a value or a number of what it's going to cost. I guess that's just the gist of it. My guess is probably no more than $40 American. My guess is it's going to be between the $25 and $30 mark. It looks like it's got a lot of things packaged into it, and it looks like the development team has done a lot of content where you're going to get your money's worth. I mean, that's the nuts and bolts of it. Now, some people said, "Oh, is it like Rust, or is it like this?" And it's like this. You know, when I look at games, I look at games like the genre. I mean the genre of like the Steam is comparing this to Valheim, which I played that. I tested that. I actually got a free copy of it from the developer because I had tested the crap out of it. But it only got me on record for here as 1.5 hours because I only played that game in its finished state for that much time. Because like I said, I move on from one testing environment to another to help game developers out. Because that's what my channel's about. That's what my YouTube channel is about, is game testing. So here we are. I want to just say again that if you're afraid of PvP, try this game anyway. The graphics look amazing. Let me just pop out the window here. The graphics look amazing. It's a Hawaiian theme, Hawaiian music. It looks like you'll be able to build your own structures. There's going to be different visual, cosmetic things that you can wear. And it looks like it's a good time. I'm going to try to find a group of people that are more interested in the PvE portion of the game. Haven't found that group yet. I'm going to try to do it when the game releases, get on whatever server they got, do a server shout out. This is Tarkus. I'm just looking for a group. I like to do crafting. I like to do building. And I'll go out and do PvP if it's needed. Like if they do a call out saying, look, we're getting PK'd over here. Can you come and help out? And I'll do that. I'll drop what I'm doing to do that. But I'm more into like grinding the gear that we need, like making multiple armor sets, multiple weapon sets, just getting them in a box somewhere. So when someone comes back. Now, I think this is a full loot drop game, and I could be wrong about that, but I did read on Discord that somebody had dropped their gear, died to a monster or a mutant. They dropped their gear. They went back to loot their body, and they couldn't loot their body, which they thought was a bug. Obviously is. So that gave me the indication that when you die in this game, it's a full loot drop game and you'll have to return to your body. Now, I'm not sure if the developers have made it so that where you died. Like there's many games that you play and the developer kind of leaves you in limbo. You die and you kind of have to remember where you were. And there are some games where they put a marker on the map that says, okay, this is where you died, and this is my calendar came up. This is where you died, and this is where you need to return to get your stuff. Let's just quickly go over to the community hub and look at the discussions. All right, private servers. I guess we looked at this one before in my last video, my first video. And I don't think they're going to have private server right off the bat, like dedicated servers that you could have G-Portal host or you host yourself. I think this game developer they're holding on to the baggage of that. They're running their own servers. A good chunk of the server, like this is the developer replying, a good chunk of the server is PvE zones and safe zones. I think people seeking a more PvE-oriented experience will be pleased. So they're trying to say that this will work for PvE, so don't be all bent out of shape that you can't host your own server with your friends and not be hassled by people. I know there's people that are antisocial. There are total people I have met over the years playing video games that never want to interact with anybody. They play single player games, and then when they see games like this, they want to play it in a single player mode. And they demand a single player mode before they'll drop their money. And that's just the way they are. You're never going to change them. I have a few gaming friends I've known over the years that are like that. And God bless you. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you're one of those people that like to work with people socially to play a video game, why not try this one, right? I mean, come on. I mean, let's just look at a controller support. I don't know if they're going to have that. Let's look. There's no response from the developer there. Please tell me if there's a single player option on launch. Again, the I want to play by myself. We understand that, but we are doing a multiplayer game. We have only PvE. Yeah, this is developers like, guys, we made a multiplayer game. That's our stick. That's part of the genre of this game. It's a multiplayer game. And it looks like most of the stuff we had already looked at, so not a lot of newer stuff here to look at. I'm just going to scroll down again just to, so that if something jumps out at me that we haven't seen. Okay, so basically what Tarkus is going to do with this game is on the 18th, he's going to pull out his credit card and buy a video game to actually play a video game for fun. Unlike, playing a video game for testing, which is fun for me. And I'm going to actively play this game as a player and as a person in a group. The only reason why I don't play the front anymore is I never could find a group. I mean, that game is an amazing game. You need help with people to help you to get the full content of the game. Or you'll just be grinding for hours and months to years. I'll be an old man before I'd finish that game without help. And some games are like that. And, if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to throw $30 at Fractured Veil, is it going to be enough content? Well, it looks like it's got a crap load of content. It looks like the content's going to be fun. Obviously, there's guns in the games. There's melee weapons in the games. There's armor sets in the games. You fight mutants in the game. You fight animals in the game. You're just trying to survive in an Hawaiian ambient style game with that kind of atmosphere around you, that environmental Hawaiian Islands feel. I don't know if there's boats in the game or if you can get into the ocean and float around. I don't think there's fishing in the game yet. I think I read that they haven't incorporated that, but I could be wrong. So if you want to get more information about this game, you can go to their Discord. I believe what I did is went to Community Hub here on the Steam page, went to discussion, and I think I went to here, official channel website. This is par for the course for any developer. This is what you do when you're trying to develop a game on Steam. You go and you do exactly what they did here, is they give you all their, channels that you can contact them through. All right, well, I hope to see you in Fractured Veil. I'm really looking forward to this. If you want to group up with me, just reach out to me. If you follow my channel, and in the future, you're going to probably see me fumbling through mechanics of this game, but I'm going to try to, like I did with my Black Desert content, is try to show people how to do certain aspects of the game that might be confusing, like walkthrough videos. Because when I get deep into a game, instead of testing it, I go into the education phase, like, oh, I want to build this gun with this scope to get the best outcome. This is how you do it. And I do 20-minute walkthrough videos on how to do that stuff. But I have to first understand the game. So I'm walking into this game like this because I know nothing about it. I didn't test it, didn't do anything. They didn't ask me to help them test it. I didn't know it was in test phase. It's releasing now. So I imagine what's going to happen here is Tarkus is going to get on this game on the 18th, and Tarkus is going to be packaging up a lot of videos to the developer of what Tarkus has found as maybe bugs, concerns. I mean, no game has come out of the box without bugs or issues or window interface problems. I mean, that you seldomly see a game come out perfect. So I have a feeling that when I'm getting into this game to actually play it, we're going to find places where I'm going to need to button up a little video, because that's how I do my play testing. Is when I find a problem, I do a video on it, a 2-minute video on it, and then I send that to the developer. And then I say, look, you watch the 2-minute video and you'll see for yourself what's going on here. And that gives them basically a foundation of, oh, we can see him doing it. I mean, obviously, there's a bug here and we got to address it. And that's how I've always done it for years is, I don't sit and type long-winded, like, this is what's going on. I do a video. I do a game video, what's going on, explaining it through my lens, and explaining it through the lens of me be doing this for over 2 decades. I know 8 computer languages. I was an information technologies director for over 20 years. So I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to how they're doing video games today and how to help a developer reach what they're reaching for. And then sometimes I get a developer that will say, look, we're having troubles, replicating this. And I'll be like, oh, did you try this, through this? Or if you're using Unreal Engine, maybe it's something to do with, the priority of your code. It's looking at it in a different, it all comes down to logic. If you do any computer, languages, I always told people, it's the logic. You got to be a logical person to tell the system when to fire what at certain particular times. Because sometimes if you fire something earlier, it will overwrite the stuff that you're trying to fire later. And the logic, we used to call them ER diagrams. It's just basically a yes/no logic. Are you trying to achieve this? Yes, you'd move on to this. I won't get into the nuts and bolts of that, but I've done it for many years, and hopefully I won't have to do too much of it with this game. I'm hoping it comes out pretty much 98% okay, with a little bit of maybe bugs here and there, but who knows? You never know. I mean, I know developers are trying to do the best they can with what they've got. I think this is built in Unreal. It looks like it's built in Unreal. I probably should have looked that up. Let me see here. If I don't think it's built in Unity. Okay, it's not really that important. It's a game. It looks like it's going to be fun. So try to buy it on the 18th if you can afford it. And I'd like to see you in the game. And thank you for joining me. And this has been the Tarkus Zone.